Mikel Moreno is a guy who will score goals from the middle of the park.
So all to play for then, the second leg, which will be in Valencia on Sunday. Jules is still with us. Craig, we watched this one. It was fun.
It was fun, and it was fun because it was a game where it wasn't total domination from Spain. And I know there's been a change in the philosophy. When the new manager came in, they had success at the Euros. There wasn't as much possession-based game. It was more vertical, for want of a better phrase. It was getting it forward quicker. But they still do possess the ball and they can dominate teams. But the fact that the Dutch, albeit they were at home, did not sit back and allow Spain to do what they wanted and wanted to make a game of it and realised they could get at the fullbacks, realised they could use Frimpong's pace, realised that, you know, Depay coming short, they can get runners from the middle of the park. You know, and Gakpo, I think, is, you know, I know he's not been playing as much recently for Liverpool, but I think he's been brilliant. I think he's a real goal threat, continuous goal threat from that left-hand side. We've seen it for club, we've seen it for country. And I think, you know, talking about midfield, I thought the Dutch midfield was actually pretty strong. De Jong's not had much game time at Barcelona, but he'll get some now because Marc Casado is out. But I thought him and Reinders, in particular, very experienced players. Obviously, Reinders playing in Milan. I thought they were excellent, and I think that drove the Dutch forward. Obviously, Memphis Depay hasn't got much pace, but they got pace in the wide areas. And I got to say, I was very impressed with the way Ronald Koeman's side played. At the back, it was Van Dijk with Van Hekke from So a few changes in there as well, a few unusual names. But I just felt that if anybody thinks now, back in Spain, I think it's in Valencia, that this is going to be easy pickings for the Spanish, I would think again. I was quite actually surprisingly impressed with Koeman's team tonight.
Ronald Koeman doing a good job, Jules. Your favourite person?
The Dutch guy. Yeah, and to be fair, I think they will be frustrated because they considered that really late goal from Merino in 93rd minute when they probably thought they had the win. And I think the draw is probably fair because Spain were good, even if Lamine Yamal didn't have a good game. And it's very rarely that we say that on the show, right? But to the point that he came off after an hour, which again is really, really rare. And even with that, a good Lamine Yamal, the Spain team was still great at time, to be fair. But I thought that was really, really good game. A game that I wish the Croatia-France was as good as that. But yeah, two really good teams. And I think the game in Valencia on Sunday would be good too. But you have to say that Spain have a small advantage now.
Anything you'd like to add, Shane?
No thanks, Dan.
All right, OK, well, that's lovely. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
I wish Dad had that luxury.
I think that's it for Jules. Oh, Jules, just one word. Frimpong, obviously, good for Bayer Leverkusen last couple of seasons. How much in demand could he be this summer, and is some which you feel could be a bit of a transition for the Bundesliga club?
Yeah, I think he's been given a way out. I think Leverkusen are happy to let him go. I think his release clause is around 40 million euros, which is a really good value for him, I think. Obviously, he's very good as a wing back more than as a right back in a back four. And today, like Craig said, he played above Gertruda in a more attacking style than just a right back, where we've seen him before with the national team, but not with the same efficiency really than when he plays as a wing back or as a winger like he did a little bit tonight. But there will be a lot of clubs in England as well. A lot of top clubs are following him.
Not a former Celtic player, just a conveyor belt of quality.
Didn't he start at Manchester City? Isn't that where the conveyor belt starts?
Well, everybody talks about this great recruitment at Liverpool and so forth, with great signings like Van Dijk. Right. Who took Van Dijk from Groningen?
Craig, I've enough of your pro-Celtic ways all the time.
Before he then went to Southampton.
Tried to curry favour with all those fans that hate you now.
Stop going on about Celtic.
Yeah. Groningen to Celtic, Celtic to Southampton, before they all jumped on the bandwagon. Look at our recruitment.
Is that it for Jules now? Jules, thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I mean, I think as you saw there, Spalletti had asked Italy to try to create more, be more daring. And look, both Italy and Germany right now, some big pieces out, right? And I think they did that. And I think, you know, in the first half especially, they played well. You saw those Baumann saves. They missed the opportunity to score that second goal. And then, once again, set pieces, which have kind of really been an issue, set pieces, headers, for this Spalletti version of Italy, ultimately undoing them. I mean, really big screw-up between Di Lorenzo and Bastoni, two guys who really should know better for the Tim Kleindienst equalizer. And then on the second one, as I understand it, I mean, Goretzka does well to go across. It's a difficult header, but the reason you have a guy at the near post is for him to attack the ball. So because the marker's not going to get to him, and that's pretty much what happened. So well done, Germany.
How much pressure is there on Italy, if anything, given their record of late, Gab, going into ties like this? What's the expectations around this side?
I think the expectations right now are just to play good football, to play attacking football. I mean, I don't think there's any sense that this tie is over by any stretch, right? I mean, they have to go to Dortmund and big stadium and whatever else, but you know, Germany clearly have their failings as well. Clearly are vulnerable as well. So I think the expectation will be to try to win it in Germany. But right now, I think you're looking for performances, and you know, again, we saw a performance. It's baby steps for this Italy side, but there's a lot of positive takeaways. Tonali, Barella, for the goal. We didn't see it in the highlights because they started too late, but Bastoni had a ridiculous patented crossfield ball, which made that possible. And certainly the chances were there. Baumann in the Germany goal doing very, very well.
Yes, indeed. Just a reminder, the Bundesliga continues on ESPN Plus next weekend. Obviously, international football dominates for now, but it all returns on March the 28th. Bayer Leverkusen taking on Bochum, and then on the Saturday, it's Bayern Munich against St. Pauli. In the second leg, as Denmark win this tie by 1-0. This wasn't one of our feature games in our green room, Gab. What can you tell us about this?
This was one of the worst Portugal performances that I can remember. Again, I don't want to take away from Denmark. They tried different solutions. Højlund, who scored there, he came on. Biereth from Monaco started up front, created a bunch of chances. You saw Christian Eriksen missing the penalty there, which would have sent the game on its way. Bruno Fernandes did nothing. Cristiano, that header was probably the best thing he put together. And while I disapprove of people mocking him, I think he'd be the first one not to be happy with this performance. And look, I mean, this Denmark side, you know, not irresistible. I don't know if maybe the Champions League exertions took too much out of Vitinha and Jean Neves. Lau had another one of his ghost games. And I got to say something about Renato Vega. He moves to Chelsea, decides he wants to play center half, and Enzo Maresca says, I'd love to have hair, but that can't happen. And that's his way of saying, you can't play center back. He moves to Juventus. Juventus, for whatever reason, decides, oh yes, let's have him play center back. He wants to play center back, and he plays center back for Juventus. Not very well. Now, all of a sudden, he gets to play center back for Portugal just because he wants to. You saw him give away the penalty. I think he was pulled this way and that all evening. Gave Ruben Diaz, who's playing alongside him, fits. So, not good. I think there's a lot for Roberto Martinez to fix. They're only a goal down, so yeah, they can turn it around, but they need to do a lot better.
Does Ronaldo start on Sunday, Gab?
Are you asking him or are you asking me? I mean,
I wonder what his answer would be.
Like, you can't put all of this on Cristiano, right? That chance that he had was probably his best chance. The pieces around him aren't working. If you're Portugal, you do have a number of options, and you know, hopefully, if a Portugal fan, Roberto will go and consider all of them. But it can't be down to simply Cristiano. So I think there's a good chance, if he feels ready, that he'll start. But the rest of the team has to step up.
Just one more thing on Portuguese players. We've seen that Chelsea have acquired 2 more. Gab, what's the story here? Why do they keep buying these young midfielders when maybe someone suggests they need a striker?
Not just that, it's 2 guys from Sporting. So you wonder, why doesn't Ruben Amorim in Manchester United, why don't they go and sign these guys? 2 different profiles. Dario Sugo, defensive midfielder. He actually hasn't played very much for Sporting. He's been on loan at Las Palmas. He was at Chavez, I think, before that. I'm guessing he's there to maybe compete with Andre Santos, who of course is on loan at Strasbourg, to be Caicedo's backup. Giovanni Kenda, you may remember from the Champions League, very exciting player. He's that kind of, in the Amorim system, he was the sort of the right-sided wing back, but really he's so attacking. He's more of a winger. I mean, the kid is only 17 years old, doesn't turn 18 until the end of next month. So still very, very raw. But I think Chelsea are short on wingers as well until we figure out what happens with Mikhailo Mudryk. So I see the logic in that one. I think Kenda has a good chance of sticking around and maybe having an impact at Chelsea next season if Maresca likes him.